Hi all. Right, back again. I've left things overnight before the next German impulse. I did have a look back on the videos. This whole thing about missing out of contact, reserve redeployment. Seem to miss it all the time, and well, not all the time, but seems to be one that gets past me. And it's a real shame because I'm looking back and I think the situation here with these 3rd Corps units, when the 4th Armour and what's the infantry units? 26th Infantry, when they got activated, there was 3 in a stack, and they would have been out of contact. And the reason I knew that they'd be, I even talked about them being out of contact because I believe when I was talking about the unit down here, thinking I could attack with this, which I couldn't. I've sorted that bit. But I spoke about the possibility of an out of contact unit. So if this was out of contact at the time, then it was out of contact and possibly able to be redeployed somewhere within the first part of the card, which is deploy 4th Armoured and 26th Infantry units. At least I'm pretty sure it is there. Yeah, there's the card there. So deploy 26th and 4th Armoured Division Reserves. Now after the 18th of December, if there's no units in the reserve units box, you still look for out of contact units and try to deploy them just by method A. And this one seems to skip by me an awful lot. And recently, obviously with these units. And I think it's quite possible that one of these units would have popped up somewhere else. It would have redeployed somewhere else. We wouldn't have then had the attack in Bastogne. Our attack back on this unit in Bastogne would have been totally different, and it is just too much to rewind. I thought I could go back and maybe rewind it, but I don't think I can. It's too far gone. Now I don't think we would have had the attack in Bastogne, so this unit wouldn't have got reduced. That was the downside to me missing that. But I think the upside to me missing that, the possibility is one of these units might have redeployed down here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly. Their core boundary. Oh shoot! Their core boundary is that line south. So there's quite a few options where they could have maybe redeployed to, and I kind of get the feeling it might have went down because it obviously is also what I try to stay within 3 of the core. So it might have come down here and spoilt things. Actually, I think I glanced and I looked at this hex being possible. I think I had a German unit that was proximate to this hex and blah blah blah, and it was also going to be within 3 of them because they had moved a little bit, I think, was it? Anyway, I can't go back and change that. I'm going to have to be more vigilant when that comes up and just think. I wish there was something to remind me. It just, you'd think after missing it so many times, that would be a sign to remember it. But when it says deploy all core reserves or deploy this division and that division reserves, you look in the reserve units box and then that's where I then switch off. Admittedly, I've not done it all the time, so hopefully we can stay switched on with that. And the other one was, I think, the activation of 82nd Infantry and 7th Armour. Before I then drew the card to activate the core, and then it clicked. There's a possibility that rather than the 7th Armour and 82, when I drew the division card for them activating, they may well have had a unit out of contact as well. I wasn't able to look back on that and work it all out because they're spread about quite a bit. But I'm just going to have to let them go. So it might have been better for me, it might have been worse for me, I'm not sure. It's a shame though, because my whole purpose of this was to keep it as error-free as possible. So missing wee things like that is rather frustrating. But anyway. Okay, let's move on. German Impulse next. So I've been having a look at what I've got and yeah, I wasn't really sure, but I think I'm going to activate 58 Corps, and they're obviously as far west as we can get, and really just trying to get them out of there. we're removing that unit as that allied unit. It's enabling us to get this one, and I think this one was trapped as well. So it lets us get these two out, I think. This unit, unfortunately, he's surrounded. He's not going to be able to move. I'm afraid I'm just going to have to leave him there yeah, to suffer whatever he's got ahead. It feels kind of bad, that, but there's nothing I can really do about it. I mean, unless I go in and attack, but I don't feel it. I think we're past all that. I think we've really got to make more defensive moves, and okay, there'll be the odd attack here and there to try and save some victory points, but there's nothing in there. I don't think I'm going to get any further with what I've got there. So, and the whole supply issue needs to be sorted as well. So, it is possible if I can bring them further back. That might be because remember they've got a 4 hex trace to get to a supply road. So it is possible if they come back a wee bit, you might be able to grab a road, but I don't think so. I still think we need to be working on the situation down here. This taking this town, which I'm poised to do now. If I get into the next impulse, I'm definitely moving. I'm definitely going to activate these 2 units, the OKW division. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to put one of them there, and I'm going to put one of them there. I'd like to activate the whole corps again, because I'd like to move these as well, but that's dependent on me getting the 7th Army card or the Army Group card, I think, because both corps cards have gone, so yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to activate the 58th and try and just bring them back, retreat them a little bit. So I'll have a look and see what exactly I'm going to do. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to activate the 58 Corps. So this guy's got to pay 1 to break zone of control, and his only hex he can move into is here, which is for us, so that's an R4, so that's as far as he's going to be able to move. Which isn't very productive, but yeah, that's what's got to be done, I think. So, and then this other guy's not going to get much further, is he? Because it's 4 into there and it's 4 into here as well, so no, he's not going to get too far. Hang on. Yeah, sorry, let me go back to that. That unit moved from there. It's got a break zone of control, so it would cost 1. Oh no, that is right. It would cost 1 and 4 to move into there, so it's full 5 movement. I do believe though that could there be a case? You can always move 1 hex. You can always move 1 hex as long as you're not moving into an illegal hex, like another zone of control, an allied unit or whatever. But anyway, that's fine. It's 5 movement anyway. So what I'm saying is, if for some reason it cost 6 movement points to make that move, he could still do it because he's only moving 1 hex. I can't remember what rule that's under, but I'm pretty sure that one's right. However, it's not the case, Grant, so we'll move on. Yeah, so this guy, I'm going to move 4 into this first, and then another 1 along the road. Get the other cube for that again. So we've got this infantry unit here, and there's this mechanised unit here as well, this armoured unit. I think that's it. So we're going to have to leave that guy in there, which, I mean, it's the strongest of the bunch we've got as well, but nothing I can do. I don't think any activations let us move a unit, unlike the allies who get to get a wee sneaky move out of, they can move from a zone of control to zone of control. What is it, withdraw under fire, isn't it? I don't think we get the opportunity to do that at all, apart from the Piper unit. But well. Okay, so I'm going to see what I'm going to do with these guys. Okay, so what I think I might do with this, he's on the road, so I might strategic move him That's going to go away once I move anyway, the IP. Strategic move him. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll maybe just move him up to St Hubert. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then to join that unit in St Hubert. If that feels like a good idea or not. I mean, there's victory points in there, so we do want to try and hold that. There are some threats up here, so an extra unit in there might be quite good. And really, it's just about trying to move them back a bit, maybe get them on the road so I can strategic move them. These units aren't going to be able to help with the whole let's get support sorted, supplies sorted. So it's more about just moving them along a bit. So this last infantry unit, let me think. Okay, I think all I'm going to do with him is move him into that hex. I mean, it's 2 movement into there. Maybe just keep him at that junction. He's in the forest. I mean, I could move him 1 more down to here in the broken hex, but I've just realised also that I can't now strategic move round up and round here because the allied units now got zone of control in that hex. Now we could still trace supply through that. No, we couldn't, could we? Because he's got zone of control on this hex too. Ooh, yes. Yeah. I wonder if, well, I can't, or can I? Oh, right, give me a sec. Yeah, if I move that guy back, if I was to go 1, 2, 3, is that not a better move? Does that matter? Yeah, I think I will do that. I mean, I was thinking that it might not matter to these units because, well, if we do what we're going to do, getting to this road's good enough for us to come around. Sorry, I'll zoom out a wee bit here and get a bigger picture. Like, onto this road, come around, into here, down into here. Now, obviously we need to do something about this unit here, but then from there, down to here, we're going to have a unit in here, and then we're going to take this down. All these things have got to happen yet, and then down into R1 and then back up, and then again the last thing we've got to do is take this unit out, I think. So there's a lot of if, and then, you know, ifs and buts. But this unit here wouldn't be able to trace supply, and if we were going to try and hold that, I've put an extra unit in there. So if I do put the unit in there, at least it can then, it's got a trace. It can trace into that hex. Yeah, so I will do that. I'll move that 1, 2, and then into the broken hex there. Just south was that Rochfort, isn't it? I think that makes some sense. Okay, that's all we've got with the core. So, okay, I'll tidy things up and, well, actually, let's draw the other card. Let's draw a new card, see what excitement we get. Hey, division card for the 53rd Corps. Now the Combat Tactic Panzer Battalion. Oh wait now, what about fuel issues? Oh, don't tell me. 24th we're on. Oh dear. That's, oh, it's the 15th as well. It's the 2 units, isn't it? Oh, that could be really annoying. Okay, give me a second. Just when you think you're getting somewhere with something, the game comes along and there's not. You're not getting to do all this nonsense, Grant. So I've got a few issues on the 15th PG division. That's the date on this card, the 24th, and it's these two units here. So here's my choices. They go out of fuel, I discard this card, or my other option is I use this card for fuel priority and not have to do that, which then means I can't activate the 17th PG that were the units down here that were required to be one in here and one in this town. So it's something's going to have to give, and I mean it feels like this is more important. I mean I really needed these units to be able to attack here, I think, but at least I've got some of the other, you know, at least I've got the 85th. All them can come and me, so I think I've got to go with that. I don't think I've got a choice. So I'm going to check that fuel priority event. Oh, well, I'm glad I went and had a look at that. Of course, it's something I've never used before. I may have seen the event on the card before, but it says play when drawing cards into your hand. So we're drawing this card in our hand at the minute, and it's got a fuel issue on it. So discard this card, which my guess is the card with fuel priority on it, or any other card in your hand, instead of discarding a card for a formation scheduled to be out of fuel this day. That formation is not out of fuel. This command event may only be used once per day. So, okay, so you can only do this once a day, but I don't need to discard them. I can discard another card. Oh, that's so much better. That's fine. I'm good with that. Right, hang on a sec. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. That's how I'm reading that. So somebody can tell me otherwise. So I'm drawing this card at the minute, and when I'm drawing that into my hand, I'm going to play the fuel priority event that's on this card in my hand. I'm then going to discard this card from my hand for the fuel priority event. And I can only do that once per day, so I can't do it again today. It's not as if I could use this again for that event this day. And that lets me keep this card in my hand. And well, not only that, it lets me, these units are not going to be out of fuel, because this is an important attack that I'm going to get. Once I eventually draw the 85th card, that's going to happen. I mean, I've got this card to use as the assault coordination, so I'm all ready for it. But yeah, but it's better to mean it's going. I mean, day 2 units, that's 8 strength that wouldn't be able to attack, and they're already adjacent. They're ready to go, you know. Okay, so that's good. So that was my card draw for the turn. So I'm still only got 5 cards in my hand because I had to discard that. Now there's only 3 cards left in the draw pile now. But the fact I'm only playing 1 card at a time, it's a slow process. Okay, let's get an allied impulse. Yeah, here we go. Fingers crossed. Hang on a sec. I just want to move this cube because they weren't. Who was it activated? The 58. So yeah. So next impulse, I can activate the okay. Well, the division. Yeah, I was hoping to have drawn a card to let me activate the whole core, but that's not happened. So, but I'll probably still be doing that. Depends what the allies do though. So let's see what they get. Oh, 5th core doesn't sound too bad. What's the event? Recover. Mind you, they've got a few units left, and they could assign replacement points before activating all units. Right, but let's look at the first one. Right, obviously the special doesn't count because it's 16th. But we've got deploy all core reserves. You know what that means, Grant? You've got to look at out of contact options. There's no reserve units in the reserve units box. So let's see if there's any 5th core units out of contact that could redeploy somewhere else. Okay, there's no 5th core units out of contact. There is, however, moving down the card to assign 3 replacement points. There's a damage unit here, and also there's a damage unit here. So he's got 2 units that can take replacement points. So if he's got at least 2, that'll be the action that they take. So both the units need to be, how is it? They need to be in supply and able to trace supply, is that, I think? Must be in supply and able to trace supply. So they're both in supply, they're both able to trace supply, there's no issues. There's only the 2, this unit's full strength, these 2 units are full strength, and the one underneath this is full strength. So he's going to come back to full strength, and this elite infantry and Trois is going to come back to full strength as well. So, no, nice and easy there, but obviously it's still good for the allies to strengthen their units. I don't know, maybe that could have been a worse impulse for us. Okay, might have a wee pause of the camera there and just to split the video, but I'll probably come back straight away. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Okay, now's our chance to activate the 2 units of the 17th PG Division, OKW, and try and put them in position. Now, when I say try, some of you might have realised that there's a bridge here to be checked when we get there. That's a huge check, I think. It'd be such a shame if that goes wrong. Mind you, there's still some other things to have to go right, admittedly, but it's all parts of the puzzle that need to fit. So, but we've got to give it a try. Okay, so activate these two units, and I'm going to put the stronger one into there. Bear in mind this is still going to be low supply as well. And then here's the more important move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got to do this bridge check. That's such an important one. That I'll zoom out a little bit. Oh, fingers crossed. Oh yes, we're good. We've got a 9. Okay. Whew, that would have been rough. So good bridge here, and we've got one more movement point. So we're gonna jump right into that town. We're going to be able to get into that town, and we've crossed this bridge. So now this is our bridge. So that's good as well. So yeah, that went okay. So it was that's pretty much all there is to it. Now the good thing, I mean, the pity about it is that's only one command value, but as we know now, the allies activate one's enough for them to have a shot. The good thing about losing a card last time was I've only got 4 cards in my hand. Unfortunately, there's still 3 cards in the draw pile, so it would have been nice to have got them all and seen what our final options of the day were, but hey ho, that's how it is. So they've had an activation. We're going to draw 2 new cards. I'll take the cube off that and put it on these guys so they can't activate next impulse. But I'll draw the 2 cards. We'll have a look at them. See if anything's... Oh well, there's our 85th Corps, and it's a 5th Panzer Army card. Sorry, a bit better zoom there. Okay, well I'm pretty sure we're going to do this and try and go for that unit there. What's in low supply? Move these units all around the bit. Use assault coordination. The 5th Panzer Army card. So there's one more card in the draw pile. What would I like it to be? I don't know. Maybe the Army Group card. I mean, that would the Army Group B card. I don't know. I mean, if this all works, if we're able to take out this unit, I mean, the whole purpose of this day was to try and get a supply line back. Of course, I mean, the Allies have got a few impulses in between all this. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the 7th Army card come up, because then we could possibly have another go. Have a go at this guy maybe. But like I say, if this guy can, at the moment we've got a supply road right the way. Now we've got the supply road right the way down to here, I think. I've not studied it carefully, but I think that's the case. So, again, like I say, the Allies have got a few tricks up their sleeve, no doubt. Okay, that's back to the Allies now, so I'll probably, in fact, let's just carry on. I've got some time, so I could do another Allied impulse, so let's see what they get. Ooh, 7 Corps. Okay, that's the guys up the top. Ooh. Okay, so we've done the pattern on the move. Don't think that benefited them actually. So deploy all Corps reserves, right? There's none, but remember Grant. Contact, and I'll just put that card right beside that big chunk of stack of 3 5.5 elite armoured units. So pretty sure their class is out of contact, so I think one of them might be moving elsewhere. But we'll have a look. It's not. It's possible that there's no German units proximate. Remember, it's only method A, so I'll have a look, see what we find. Okay, so this unit here is out of contact. There's no German unit proximate to this, and the lowest numbered unit in this stack would be out of contact as well. There isn't anywhere for them to go though. There's not. Their core deployment areas, yeah, that line north. So quite a fair area, but Allies have. This is where the main line is coming up. So there's no gaps. There's nowhere for them to get through them. This unit, yeah, you can jump across the river into there, but that's as far as you can go. So, I mean, this is where there is a gap, but you know, yeah, if there was a bridge there, you could come across and down. But so there's nothing there. And remember from the previous one, looking back into here, because these 2 position hexes, I think we decided were in Allied supply. But fortunately for me, again, there's no German units proximate to these 2 hexes, which I might want to try and keep it that way, I think, because I certainly don't want units coming in here. I don't think, getting in behind me. I'd probably, this core here, I think if I get the chance again, I know I just chucked the card away willy-nilly the last time, thinking it's not got much use to move these guys, but bringing them down here I think would be a good idea. They're all just infantry units, so we lost the 2, or is there still one up there? Maybe there's still one of the mechanised units up there. Anyway, let's get back to the situation at hand, Grant. So yeah, I marked these both as out of contact, but I can't see any hex that a German unit can get proximate to that they might redeploy to. So we'll move away from that. Now, replacement points, there is only, let me just pan the camera down there, it's quite deep. Can we get down there? Yeah. This unit's got 1 step, so it's been reduced, but apart from that, everything else is intact. There's a unit way up there, it's got an IP, he's full strength. This guy's out of supply, and low supply, but he's still full strength as well. Actually, I'm not sure how that would work, because if you're not in supply, you can't get replacement points anyway, so maybe that would stop it. But anyway, however, there's only 1 unit that's reduced, so we skip by that as well. So next one's activate all units in the core, and that's going to happen. Well, actually, just panning down this guy. Oh! Okay, sorry, the camera dropped there. Like a roller coaster there. Right, okay, this unit there you can take an IP, so they're going to activate. I think I'll move things here though, because I'm getting in a bit tizzy. Okay, so we're going to activate 7 core. So let's get 3 cards. It'd be interesting to see what the elite armour units get up to here. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh, only 1 offensive one. So the order's going to be no, it's not. It's going to be fill the gap. That's dated the 29th, so we're still playing with that. So fill the gap, strong attack, and then strengthen. That's what we've got. Okay, I'll have a wee look, see what's going to happen. Okay, I didn't think there was going to be anything happening here. Fill the gap, the situation is unit proximate to empty position where a German unit is also proximate. But it's not going to be adjacent to another allied zone of control. Oh, sorry, it may not be in another allied zone of control if it's less than 5 hold value. So, like this position here wouldn't be an option. But I was just looking at this. I think this guy can come down at this town. Now, there's nothing to say that it can't go into a German town. It's an empty position. German units proximate to this. Yeah. Obviously, if we then move on to the action, okay, I know I'm looking at the situation here, but that says the situation could happen, but for that unit. And bear in mind, we're going from, sorry, let's zoom out here a bit. We're going from 27 down to, sorry, I've tightened the thing up on the camera because it just went there. Yeah, we're going from 27 down to 1, so this unit down here was 24, but I can't see him. He can't get into this hex anyway, and you could only go to here, which is adjacent to another allied unit, so that's another allied zone of control with less than 5 hold values. That's what I mean. And then the units up there, I mean, this guy's right in the middle of things. He can't move to anywhere. This guy's surrounded. He's in low supply. And these 3 armour units, there's nothing, well, they weren't able to move because there's nothing a German unit can get proximate to. Like I say, the only thing this guy could do is move across into there, but it's not. That's not a position hex. But going back to this one, who's selector number 5, he can move into here, so that satisfies the situation to me. He's proximate to an empty position. So, I mean, this is an empty position, even it's German. It's a German town, but it's an empty position as far as I'm concerned. And a German unit's proximate to it, obviously. It's right adjacent. And it's not in another allied zone of control. So it wants to move to a position. If more than one move to highest whole value, then fewest movement points. Well, I don't think he's got another option anyway. Actually, that's not true. This would be an option, this hex here. Because the German unit's also proximate to this. This is a good bridge. But he wants to, if there's more than one, he wants to move to the highest whole value, and this is a whole value of 4. So he wants to move there. But then we look at the, you can probably just see the card. And then we look at the restrictions. And now one is preserve the line. Well, this unit moving down to here, the lines, there's no gaps appearing. He's just moving, he's just tightening it really. So nothing's happening there, and he's not in a VP hex, so we don't need to bother about protecting VP hex. So avoid surround. So if I'm moving there, and I thought, well, surely he's surroundable, but this unit's in an allied zone of control, so it can't just jump into there, and it can't break away into there because that unit's there. So there's nothing that can get into this hex. Well, hold on, I think it is. Oh no, maybe not. Oh, this is interesting then, because we're talking dispersed units here. So can I get, if the unit moves in there, can I get a zone of control on that hex? I don't think I can. I mean, if this unit wasn't dispersed, it could go into there, and then we've got a zone. Then we've got that guy surrounded, but he's dispersed. This is always one of the ones that I found a little bit odd, that you don't consider dispersed units at that moment. I mean, I think that if the allied unit does move down there, it's not very good for me, so it's not as if he's doing me any favours here. So I don't believe he's in danger of surround by moving there. Hold on. Can this unit move? Well, see, I think this is a forest. So it's 4 to move into there, and another 2 into there, so he's not got enough movement. Oh, hold on. Oh, I've seen a way. Just shows you. If that unit moves to there, if this guy was to break zone of control, go 1, 2, 3, 4, then we've got zone of control here. Now at the moment we don't have here or here, but this unit could go 4, 5 into there, and then zone of control, zone of control, zone of control, zone of control. He's surrounded. Wow, just shows you. I was almost about to do that. So he can't go there. Could he maybe go there though? I'll have a wee look before I put you through that all that again. Yeah, I do actually think he can go there, because I'm pretty damn sure we can't get a zone of control on this hex here, which would be his out hex. Because if he's here, there's no way we can get something into here. Or here for that matter. So I think that is legit. So okay. So move to position, more than one, blah blah blah. Yeah. So I think he's going to come down, move into this hex here. I don't know if that's bad for us or not. I think we're kind of giving up with all this bit here, but we do need to get this supply. But I think these units can, as long as, like I say, as long as they can trace onto this bit of road here. Well, albeit our plan going right, then they're okay. So even if we go as far as this unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, he can reach to here, and that's where we need to be. So all these units are going to be okay, and we put this unit here so that this guy can step over, and he's on that road. He's obviously on that road. So yeah, at the moment that's not caused us any trouble anyway. Okay, so I'm pretty sure none of the other that's really tightened things up. There's no other spaces where a German unit can get proximate to an empty position where they any of that 7 core units can fill the gap. Yeah, so I'm going to settle on that. So let's move on to something a bit more juicier. Strong attack. See what that brings about. Right, that's going from 1 up the way. So right away we've got these units here. So can they get proximate to? Oh, this is the one that needs 3 times though, isn't it? Strength of unit stack and other active units. Okay, I'll need to go and have a wee look. I think maybe these just might be a bit too far out of range though. I don't actually think these guys can get. I think these 2 bridges are spoiling things for them, blowing bridges. So sometimes it can work in our favour, I guess. Best they can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, getting adjacent to this, which is only 2 strength, but it's across the river. And the annoying thing for them is there's 2 units already in there, so only one of these units can come. That's only 5 strength. I mean, they could move as a whole stack. You know, there's 15 strength in there, and try to get adjacent to this. It's 1, 2, 3, it's 6 movement to get in there, so that doesn't work. Yeah, and like I said, if this had been a good bridge, 1, 2, they could get up to here. And it says strength of unit stat and other active units. Well, there is an active unit in there, even though he's low supply. And remember we talked before about the fact he can't be the lead unit, but if these were the lead units, like I say, they can't get adjacent to this. He could have helped. The other units further up north, yeah, he can't help. I mean, the 1, 2, they can't go up. There's not enough movement to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nah. I can't see them doing it. And then to get 3 times strength against units, yeah, if they were all able to move together against something, then yeah. So I don't think they're numbered 1, 2, and 3. The next unit would be this guy. He's on his own. He's not going to get 3 times I mean, I've seen the fact he could move down to adjacent to this, but there's 3 in here, and it's in a town. Oh yeah, it's a victory point town, right enough. So its strength is 3, and that's 3 against 3. So it's not even greater than. Never mind 3 times. But I did just notice that this guy up here, he's got 3 strength. He's in an IP, and he's adjacent to a 1 strength unit. So that is actually 3 times. So situation, strength of unit stack and other active units greater than or equal to 3 times approximate German unit stack. So yeah, he has 3 times the strength of this unit. And situationally, he's just a 1. He's only he's in a woods hex. He's got nothing else going for him. So I think that guy's going to actually have a go. So all active units proximate to strongest qualifying German units that move to target and attack. Well, he can't move anywhere. He's just going to sit there and attack if he can. Other proximate units in same core reinforce. No, there's nothing. I mean, there's this unit here who's surrounded, and there's these guys. But the next part might come into it, because the next part is all out of contact units in same core redeploy to attack. So here we go. So okay, well, we already checked when we were looking at the deploy all core reserves that this unit was out of contact and he's in the core, and the number 1 unit in that stack was out of contact as well. So let's have a look into that one. Okay, and just while I remember, while looking at this out of contact issue, and we had well, actually, I'll bring the camera back down here. We had the attack that shouldn't have been anyway down here. This unit that's in low supply, that's not allowed to be a lead unit in an attack. Anyway, we discussed deploying an out of contact unit into a German town, and there seemed to be nothing in the rules to say that you couldn't do it. Couldn't find anything in the rules or any answers to questions regarding it on the forum. So I posted my own question. Martin came back saying although he couldn't officially find anything, there was hints to suggest that you couldn't do it. I tend to agree. The couple of points he made that showed that where the hints were within his answer hinted towards it, but bear in mind there's nothing in the rule book that says specifically you can't do it. The other one, I just think there should have been a errata for it. It's probably just never came up before. Nobody's maybe queried it, because like I mentioned, errata came out to say that initially folk were wondering if you could put a roadblock in a German-held town, a German-controlled town. And there was a errata brought out to say that to add a bullet saying the hex is not a German-controlled town. So my thinking is that the same should be for redeploying out of contact units when they're going to attack. However, I got another response from Michael. Sorry, I'm not going to try and pronounce your second name, Michael, but he said, just being the devil's advocate here, but all 3 of these cards are about offensive actions and the rules don't specifically forbid it, so I would think that attacking units wouldn't hesitate to enter an enemy town as opposed to units that have just deployed in an area and they would like to do it a bit away from the enemy. I'm not quite sure again, just food for thought. He's saying. So I mean, yeah, he's right in the fact that the rules don't say it. I think what we are looking for here, as we've found, and I'm not knocking the guys that make these games, they're brilliant and they get so much enjoyment out of them and whatever, but certain rules slip through, and they only get found out once they're played and played and played. I mean, they go through a play testing process. I don't know how complex all that is. I'm sure there's a lot of hours go into that, but can you get everything? You can see how complex these games are, and can you find out every situation and deal with it, you know, and say, okay, that needs to be put in the rules. So, and there's errata, there's questions came up, John Butterfield's answered questions saying, okay, he's realised that, he's putting errata, and so I think my thinking is that it'd be nice if John came along and noticed that question and said, oh, okay, the intention is that shouldn't be. But he might also come on and say, well, look, just what Michael said, it's a different situation here. They're being aggressive, offensive action cards. They're doing a different thing here. They're not just deploying units, they're actually like making an attack. So he could well be right. I played it as how I felt initially, but by all means, if the main man comes back and says otherwise, then that's great. You could certainly do with some confirmation. But the other thing is that sometimes, you know, I've asked questions before, and Martin will be he's the first one to usually answer these questions, and sometimes Martin just says, well, that's how the rules are. Well, I suppose here, Martin, that's how the rules don't say a unit can't be deployed in a German town. There's maybe suggestions out there that probably shouldn't be, but there's nothing in the rules that say so. Maybe we need some clarification. Anyway, I'll play it as of that at the moment until we hear anything different. But anyway, thanks for your food for thought, Michael. Okay, so back to what were we doing? We were looking to see. Yeah, and I'm going to have to pause and look into it to see if one of these units, well, not just one of them, I mean, potentially one could come from this stack, and this guy, these two units are out of contact. Well, sorry, this unit's out of contact, and the low selector number unit in that stack is out of contact. So they could both redeploy to attack. So this is unit we're trying to attack. So yeah, you would redeploy. Now the unit can't go there. They've got to be not in dangerous round and be able to trace ally supply. So these two hexes are out. No, I don't think they can. No, they can't trace ally supply, and they're surroundable as well. But obviously, where the unit is, it's attacking. He's sitting there on his own, so he can take two other units or 4 more steps if you like, which is these two units that are out of contact. So I get the feeling that they're going to both move. So you have to move them one at a time in ascending order, and placing a hex adjacent to the target of the attack, not in dangerous round, within stacking limits, and ally supply can be traced. And then if there's more than one hex, blah blah blah. Well, there's not, because these two are going to be out. So my thinking is that this armoured unit is going to come up here. Oops, it is. And join the attack. And also the cavalry unit. Now, out of contact. Now, yeah, there is a restriction. Hang on a sec. Yeah, the restriction is it wouldn't create a gap in the line. It doesn't care about protecting VP hex, which could be considered a bit strange as well. But on saying that, part of the condition of it being out of contact is the German unit's not proximate to it, so that maybe covers that. Fair enough. So yeah, sorry, I'm all zoomed in there. The line can come from here to here, here. Yeah, moving this guy out here doesn't create a gap in the line in my eyes anyway. So he's going to go up there too and join the party. So that's going to be quite, well actually that IP is going to get removed, isn't it? Yeah, they're going to attack out of that hex, so that IP marker's going to, oh you know what, that's right at the top of the map again. It's a pain. Okay, so we're now, where are we? All out of contact units in same core, redeploy to attack. That's all. We can't grab any more out of that because they are. Oh, actually, yeah, because there's no German unit adjacent, proximate to them. So I was just classing them out of contact because they've got 6 steps, and more than 8 strength. Oh, actually, they've still got more than 8 strength. So Unit 2 is actually out of contact as well, but there's nowhere for them to go. Like we said, we can't put them in there or there, and that's now fully stacked. So I think that's going to be that. Okay, so I'm going to get ready to make that attack, I think. Okay, I'm just looking at the time on this recording. I must have been yakking away far too much. It's 34 minutes or something on this bit that I'm recording. So I've got quite a bit of memory on the camera, but maybe I should cut this here just before the attack because there's quite a bit more to do within this core. I think there'll be a few other things happening. So yeah, I know it's kind of like cutting a bit that you probably want to see the outcome of. Me too, but I'll cut it here and hopefully come back soon and carry on with that. I've still got a bit more time, but I'll leave it at that stage for now, guys. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, back to right. This was left overnight, and a couple of things I want to talk about before we move on. We were trying to do a strong attack. I might need to watch the very end of the video. I think, oh yeah, had we not moved, we'd moved 2 out of contact units into there to attack this unit, I think. I'll double check that before I move on. Let's just come back to a couple of things. Martin's picked up a couple of things. I thought one was going to be a huge mistake. I think I've got away with it. The first little one was this unit here. There was another armoured unit here. He was in this hex. We were attacking this hex. The movement cost to reach here was 3. There was a unit here. There's a unit here. So maybe it was this unit. I can't remember. We were attacking this hex. Yeah, the armoured unit was here. I think the infantry was here. We were attacking this hex. So we wanted to move him into attack as well. So there was a unit in each of the hexes. And this is 3. This costs 3. So you're looking for the most movement points. It's 3 to get into that hex. But it's actually 3 to get into this hex as well. It's 2 into there and 1 into there. And the fact that this one's westernmost from this one, this unit should have actually moved into here instead. Now what happened after that? They both advanced, didn't they? Yeah, that might have been different then. So that unit would have advanced. That unit would be going primary arrow. Well, you know what? That's a town, isn't it? So he would have been rolling the same. He would have been rolling on the same dice, and he rolled to move in, didn't he? Let's not double check the table here. So primary. In fact, oh no, it's a. Oh yeah, no. It would have been a 1 to 4 roll that he succeeded on, because he was going into a town and there was a unit already there. When in actual fact, being the primary route, it would have been a 1 to 7 roll. So he still would have advanced into there. So nothing's changed as it was. But it was just to let you know that, like Martin was right in picking up that there was the same movement points to reach both of these, but this is more western. So he should have moved into here. Okay, so the bigger one, I wanted to try and add this in before I'd got to here, but it just seemed too complicated. So whether you are going to understand it all from my explanation here or not, I'm glad it's got pointed out though, because I can look at it and decide if I've done something wrong. Well, I have done something wrong. What happened was some of these third corps units were here previously. Well, this hex in particular. So then they'd moved up to here. Now there was no German unit across this side of the bridge. They moved up to here. They then activated again. As soon as they activated, this hex was free of enemy units. They would have then gained control of this bridge. So this is now back to become an allied bridge. Okay, so then they made their move and they moved up to Bastogne. I think they attacked Bastogne. So then my next move was strategically moving the OKW units from where they were back here to just get them ready to go in and attack as well, which we then done. But it turns out it's only one of the stacks of units. Now when I approached this bridge, I did need to stop and take a bridge check, and I took that, and we succeeded on that. I then continued my strategic movement across the bridge, but at that point it was still an allied bridge, so you can't strategically move across an allied bridge. So what would have meant was my units would have had to stop there. They still would have took the bridge check succeeded. They would have been there instead of there. Fortunately, I've looked it over and it doesn't make any odds, because all they did was they moved from there to attack, and then the other units that were here moved around the bridge and into there. But as soon as I activated my units, my OKW units that second time, I would have then gained control of this bridge again, so it's back to a German bridge. So then we can cross it freely and there's no issues. So I don't think I think we got away with that. I did start thinking, oh no, did that mean I couldn't make the attack that I made? But I think so, because the other units moved. They moved further down now, because these are the ones that I put down here. Yeah, when I looked at the video, it was only the units that stayed across this the bridge, and then I might have strategically moved them down to here, but by that time I had then taken this bridge again, so I'm pretty sure that's okay. Yeah, no, I didn't actually move the 17 PG units strategically. I just moved them with their full movement, and they ended up in this hex here, and then the following. Well, the next chance I got to activate that division, I then moved them to where they were. And we checked this bridge. We then gained this bridge when we crossed it. So it didn't affect these units. All these units would have had to move from there to make the attack. So they would have moved 1, 2, rather than move from there to make the attack. So we got away with that. But yeah, it was well spotted, Martin, to see that they took back that bridge, and I just never noticed it at all. There's so much to catch you out. And like I say, the other one they pointed out there. But okay, so let's get back to the situation up here now. I'm just going to go and remind myself exactly where we were. I don't think, had we played a card? I think we must have done, hadn't we? Because I've got a unit over there that's activated. It was Fill the Gap, wasn't it? Yeah, Fill the Gaps in the discard pile. That's right, he moved from there down to there, didn't he? To fill the gap. Which was possibly rather annoying as well. Although I did point out that these units here can probably trace to this road anyway without going up round. So it's maybe not so much of an issue. Okay, so we must have filled the gap and then we moved on to strong attack. So there's some notifications on my phone there. Hopefully they're not terrible. If they are, I'll try and cut them out. Okay, I'm just going to refresh my memory here. Okay, so we redeployed to attack 2 out of contact units. The 2nd armour unit and the 4th cavalry unit. So all them are going to join the attack. So where are we? If we're then equal to 5 steps, attack and break off at A2. Well, that is the case. They've got 6 steps. So these guys are going to attack. And I'm going to break off at A2. Now they've got to preserve the line, protect VP hex. So no issues there. They get combat. They get the combat tactic air power to start with. So what is their strength? It's 3, 6, 11, isn't it? So it's 11 to 1. So there you go. My D10's not any good. I'll do it the other way about then. So maybe not be getting as many chip pools. So 11 to 1. Now they're getting 1, 2, 3 chip pools and then 1 for elite. That's right. So 4. 1 for the air powers, 5. And then they've still got to get a card. So let's see what they get for that. I drew the 3rd army card. Zoom for that. So what's that? Artillery and air power. Well, you know what? That's maybe not terrible for us again. So they get in our 2 combat chits, chip pools. So that takes them up to 7 because they've got artillery and air power on the card. But obviously they don't benefit from 2 air powers, so they're adding artillery to that. And like I said, they got an extra 2 chip pools. So I ended up with 7 chip pools, which is pretty good, really, isn't it? So now we have the option of playing the cards if we wish. Well, I'll have a little look, but well, the only possible option I have is that card, you know. I know this was an issue about keeping this card. It wasn't about keeping the card in my hand. It was about the units not being out of fuel and not being able to attack once I eventually get round to that. So that would give me Panzer Battalion, which gives me 1 strength, which take my strength to 2. It was shut down his odds from 11 to 1 to like 5 to 1. Also gives me armour, but I've got armour anyway. So I'm just wondering, is that worth? It's using another card up too. Then again, I'm going to have the potential to maybe use that as a combat tactic down near Ettelbruck, where I want to knock that guy out, you know. And there might be another chance of another attack as well. So, and I'm not really that fussed about that guy. I don't think they're going to advance after combat if they take him out. Because I think, well, actually, no, maybe they do. Maybe they don't care about being surrounded. Oh no, it's something about if it's it's a 0 hold value hex, so I don't think they will advance. But just the last little think about it, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Yeah, I just double checked there that they won't advance into a hex if it's in dangerous surround or surrounded, unless it's got a hold value of 1 or more. So that's got a hold value of 0. So yeah, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play the card. Don't know if that's right or not, but stick by that. Okay, so a minimum of 1 chip pool, a maximum of 7, 11 to 1 odds. So yeah, looks kind of grim, but and they're going to break off at A2. So let's get the minimum of 1. Well, we're just going to be drawing chits 1 at a time until we get the result, whatever that may be. Okay, so they get a good start. Attacker elite, which they have. They've no green units in the attack, so just 1 at a time. So we get air power. Well, they were getting air power or large attack, but I suppose large attack for them doesn't count until they actually get to the 7th chit. I'm pretty sure they would be getting there anyway. So that's D2. So to be honest, D3 is game over for him. So let's see how we go. Yeah, oh there you go, that was short and sweet. So it wouldn't mattered at all if I'd knocked the odds to 5-1 anyway. So yeah, 3 hits, 1 to retreat. Yeah, sorry, two retreats and then 1 step loss. So that's all that was needed. So unfortunately that guy's gone. I wasn't that worried about him because he's, man, don't get me wrong, it's still a unit, but so like I say, the units won't advance after combat into that hex because it's in danger of surround. In fact, is it surrounded? Yeah, I think it is surrounded, isn't it? Yeah, this still zone of control. I think there's 2 bracket units in there, yeah. Yeah, so it's surrounded, so they're not going to advance into there, so that's that. Okay, so let's now look, see if there's anything else that can do a strong attack. Yeah, that was us checking selector number 9 there, up there. So that must have been the last one. We must have looked at these already. They're clearly not able to get, because they were lower selector numbers. So the only other unit is here, and he's outside the range. Anyway, he's 24. Not that he would get 3 times, I don't think anyway, but he's out of the range. It only goes up to 19 with a strong attack card. So that's the strong attack done. So now strengthen. Oh god, my favourite. Okay, let me have a wee look. I think this is the one I came across. I've got a wee file that I've created just to word it a bit more clearer for me to understand. So give me a sec. Okay, strengthen works its way down from 39, so this would be the first candidate, but he's not proximate to a unit with less than or equal to 3 strength that he can go and strengthen. Anyway, well, I mean, yes, this is a strength of 2, so you could go up there. But the other part of the situation is that there's got to be at least 7 strength worth of German units proximate to the hex that you're going to strengthen. Basically, you're trying to strengthen a weakened position, you know. So no, I can't see anything with that one doing anything. So we've just got that, and we've got the armoured units then now as well, haven't we? I don't think they're going to be able to move to anywhere either to strengthen. There's nothing pretty strong in here anyway. That's got 8 strength there. This has got 6 strength, which I suppose that is proximate to. Yeah. No, I don't think there's a situation for strengthen to happen at all. No, I think these guys are just going to sit there. So that's the last card, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so finally we can, I think this guy could take an IP. Yeah, he can build an IP. So we shall do that. And I think that will be, oh, I think the other guys are in a town, aren't they? The armoured units are in, yeah, they're in a town, so they can't build an IP, and everything else has had an activation. So there we go. Yeah, not too bad. I don't suppose I was too fussed about that unit. Wasn't that important to me, and we've still got these units here sort of holding the line there anyway, so Okay, I'll maybe have a wee pause there and tidy things up, and we'll get back with a German impulse as soon as I can. Okay, cheers.